with Jocelyne McNicholl in the Gatineau Hills. I am at her studio and private gallery. Madame McNicholl, thank you so much for being with us today, and we have already started video recording some of the art, and we are now going to your studio and show the rest of the art. I'm going to follow you. In the meantime, if you can tell the viewers and the listeners, how did you start this type of art?
Okay, I do all kind of arts, all kind of type of arts, but most of the work that I'm doing is mostly on fabric. Okay, and I was inspired by the African. I went to an African boutique about 20 years ago, and I saw that they were painting directly on cotton. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do that also. And I tried, and I really enjoy. And, so I said, okay, I live in America, so I should use really American graphic style. So I just started to do some research. I went to the Southwest, like in Arizona and California, to see some Indian arts. And then I know it's very different from Indian arts, but I just inspire myself by those kind of, I would say, graphic design.
Yes.
And I use, this, like the one that you're going, it's kind of the theme of the lake, okay? And it always starts by a turtle, because a turtle in North America, Indian stories are very important. And then, it's all the life of the lake, because I live near a small lake, and it is the art of, not the art, but the life of the small lake, the turtle who is eating the frogs, and the frogs who are eating some dragonfly, and then there are some flycatcher, and then, here some green herons are sharing the prey of a white-headed eagle.
So it's like
it tells a story,
cycle of life.
Yes, it's a circle of life. Same thing with the other one.
And this follows the same idea.
Yeah, it's the same pattern, except the graphic design is very different. It's kind of.
So it begins from down there.
Yeah, with the turtle, and then the mallard dog, the little frogs, and the heron. But this one is more stylized. The birds are not very realistic.
And you just told me about the one that we video recorded a few minutes ago, that it takes 2 to 3 months or even longer to complete a piece like this.
Yes, because it's very long. It's not like working on a canvas, and you have to do all the drawings first and then apply the color, and you cannot, if you make a mistake, then it's finished. You have to start everything again, because there's no, on a cotton, ça pardonne pas, it doesn't forgive you.
Yes.
If you do a mistake, then it's bad. So you have to be very, very concentrated on the work, and it's like meditation work.
For the listeners and for our viewers, all your textile work is done on cotton.
Yes.
May I ask, how did you decide to work on cotton and not another textile?
Because I think cotton was kind of a very strong fabric, and
Resistant, time resistant.
Yes, exactly, and it was easy to find, and it was the one that you're looking at was to illustrate a story. It was for the Granby Zoo 50th anniversary, and they chose me, and I had to do something to inspire young kids, because they had to do the same thing, and the theme of that was men and animals are friends. So it's a story with the young Indian with her wolf, and the little rabbit, who is very important, who told her the right way to go, and it's all flowers and trees from North American forest.
And you are very attracted by trees and the relationship between humans and birds
Yeah.
and humans and animals.
Because I think that's life, you know, they are part of us and we're part of them. And I cannot live, you know, without having a contact, even if it's only visual,
That's true.
with trees and birds.
And I noticed that you work on very large pieces. All your pieces are large. How do you find a space to display them? You go to certain galleries? Or?
Yes, exactly. You know, I had some exhibition. It's always on big galleries and where they have a lot of space. And but since the last time I had a really big exhibition was about 5 years ago. It was in France. I was at 2 places in France, so I stayed there for 4 months. I was in Lyon. It was a big gallery, and it was what a nice place. People, I think they really enjoyed. And then I had another that I was in a Protestant temple in a little village called Carlabile.
Here you have an acrylic painting.
Yeah, okay, this, I just started working with acrylic not very far, not a long time ago, and I'm just trying to do skies. It's kind of a study, you know, it's not...
This looks like a sky just before the storm,
Yeah, it's
after
a
the
storm.
storm.
Yeah, it's a storm that is coming, because in the bottom, you know, it said, I will go like a crazy horse, scared by the storm that is coming.
Can you tell us in French?
Okay, it said, sur la prairie brûlante, j'irai comme un cheval fou devant la colère du ciel.
Oh, beautiful. And you love horses too?
Oh yes, I like all animals.
Do you own horses? Or
No.
You see them around?
No. No, they're pretty big to have it. No, I have only 2 cats. But
They take a lot of work too.
yes.
And this is your studio. There's more textile work here.
Yes. Those are little swallows, I think you call that in English.
Yes.
Les hirondelles. And they're just following, you know, it's kind of those little swallows are flying over a marsh. And it's very funny because, you know, they stop on a tree, and all of us, you know, and all they go and stand on branches, and all of a sudden they just go all at the same time. They start to fly, and then it's like if they were telling, you know, like somebody was whistling, and all of them goes on the branches, and then they're whistling again, and all of them. It's like a ballet, you know. It's like a dance, and it's like they go like big waves over the marshes to eat all the little bugs that fly.
Do you have them around here where you live?
No, now I don't have no more of them, but where I used to live, I lived like almost 19 years just close to a very big marsh, okay, and it was full of birds. But you know that swallows now are more rare, and they're just disappearing because of the people, and you know, all for the agriculture, they're putting some insecticide and things like that.
Yes. And here you have a group of loons.
No, they are not loons. They are called, what's the word in English?
In French, what do?
It's crown-headed, crown-headed merganser. Yeah, this was, you know, where I used to live. We had, in 1998, we had a big ice rain that I don't know, they did a lot of you know, they cut branches, and the trees were very like almost dead. We thought that they were dead, but even that, you know, all those merganser were there, you know, having fun in the water, while all the human beings were, what's going on, you know, because we had no electricity for almost like 4 weeks, and this ice rainstorm was a real it was not a disaster for the nature, but for human being it was kind of.
These birds must be pretty rare themselves as well.
Yes, you don't see them often. You see usual merganser, but the crownhead merganser are not very frequent. Those kingfisher, and it's all those flowers also from the marsh, versicolor iris and populage des marais. I don't know the word, but those are female kingfisher with the red stripe. The male, it's very unusual because the male usually on birds variety, the male is always the most colorful, but from the kingfisher, it's the female who is more colorful.
So these are actually females.
Yeah, they are females, and they saw something in the water and they're just diving for it.
And they also surrounded
Yes.
it with kingfishers.
Yeah. More stylish.
Do you have them around here?
Yes.
So you see them a lot.
Oh yes. And you can see the trees. The dead trees are the same as those ones.
Yes.
Because they were the ones they were just in front of my windows, my kitchen window when I was living in Saint Paul.
So you're also trying to make an environmental
Yes, it is.
statement.
Yes, it's always like real flowers that real plants and that exist, but they are not.
They are no longer there. So how do you find your material, the cotton?
It's easy. I go in Montreal. There's a place where they sell all kind of cottons. It was called coton doré, and so I just buy that with big rolls.
I'm wondering if we showed all.
We can go in the room and for the other one, all the geese.
Sure, you have more in the other room. Okay. You have a large, beautiful studio.
Yes, it is. Oh yes, I built this house, and and I built it, thinking about the studio. So those are white geese that were very abundant when I was living, coming and staying on the river for the night, and there were so many of them. I would say not millions of them, but thousands of them.
Do you see them every
Here,
year?
no. Here there's no white geese. Here there is more like des bernaches, okay, Canada geese.
And do you also do that rod, the wooden?
No, so I just bought them in France while I was in France, because I couldn't when I was in France I had to undo like those one, on my right. I had to undo all the frames and redo it again when I was there, and so I just bought those sticks in France.
I'm just going to show the other one with the Canadian.
Yeah, the Canada geese.
And is there a bird that you feel more attached, more connected to?
No, I can say no. I like all the birds. But I like those geese, because I just wrote a little poem about them that was called Faithful Return. And because they're always coming back, and because they tell you that now the spring is coming, and or when they're going back south, they're telling you, they're kind of I don't know, really faithful bird
And I see birds
courageous
also on the at each end.
Yes.
I see birds coming, returning.
Yeah. And the mountains on the back part, on the lowest part, was the mountain that I could see from my house. It was like the Vermont, in Vermont mountains. And when the birds were coming back, there were still some snow on the top of the hills.
What a nice tribute to the place where you lived.
Oh yes, it was. This place inspired me a lot.
Are you working right now on textile piece? Or?
Not now, because now I'm working for Parc Omega. I don't know if you know this park.
Have you done this one too?
Yes.
The little one.
Yeah.
You said you were working on.
Yes, I work for Parc Omega, and we're just planning to build a trading post. And so I'm making all the drawings for the, to make people understand what was going on when they were fur trading. So it's I don't have time because, like I told you, those fabric painting take me a lot of time. But I have a lot of project, and as soon as I will finish this work on Parc Omega, then I will start another one.
And this is your piece as well?
Yes, it was just for fun because I made this little polar bear who is very tiny. It's when I start to work with acrylic, about 2
How long have you been working with acrylics?
Not very, about 2 or 3 years ago, I think, yeah.
You actually have more work in your studio. Perhaps we can show the one that you are working right now. And you also have a few sketches that we could show. So we are seeing horses.
Yes, it's
wild horses.
Huh?
Wild horses.
Yes, wild horses. Those are Canadian horses, and they were they are small horses, but very, very, very strong. That can live outdoor during the winter. So, and there's always a little bird.
Yes.
Sorry.
And behind it, there's another one.
Oh yes, this was like at Parc Omega. Okay, it was. It's a landscape from Parc Omega with the little deers, and also the crows. And this fall was such a resplendissant, I don't know, very colorful fall. I think from of all my life, it was the most colorful autumn that I ever saw. And I said, oh, I must do something colorful, and I made this painting because I'm kind of doing some studies about skies.
Yes, you love skies.
Yes,
May I ask
skies.
what makes you so fond of skies?
I don't know, because sky is kind of a show that never ended. If you look at the sky, it changes all the time. The color is changing, the form of the clouds, and it's perpetual, it has no end, so it's very, very interesting.
What about this?
This.
When did you do this one?
Okay, so I'm doing this one. Okay, it's a series. Now there's another one at the Galerie Montcalm who's called Estiva, and this one is called Driada. It's not finished, we're just starting because it needs to be wrapped. This is like a fairy of the trees and things like that. So, and I just put the blanket because I don't want my cat to do their, scratch it,
Yes.
So it's fabric that we recuperate, It's this is an old skirt, okay, and we buy that. Denise is very good in checking in all those.
Denise Coker.
Yeah, Denise Coker. Yeah, so every time she find a new kind of fabric or a nose skirt, and so we just buy it like $2, and then we cut it and do things like that with.
I would like to show your drawings right now.
Yeah.
May I ask what inspired you to do these drawings?
It's very funny because all those, I made a long time ago. I went and I just do a lot of canoeing on Arikana River from Amos to Bay James. And while I was doing that, I took a lot of photos. And so I just took those photos and I dressed the people, like they were dressed in the 18th century, like all the coureurs de bois, the Indians, and everything. And I do that. Those are going to be with text, explaining what they are doing in the little trading post in Parc Omega. And that's what part of the job that I'm doing. That's why I don't have time to do like fabric.
So when do you think this will be done? So we can
This
see
will be
it.
done in June. In June, everybody could go and see the trading post on Parc Omega.
For the listeners and the viewers, where is Parc Omega?
Parc Omega is near Montebello. Parc Omega, it's a very, very nice, it's kind of a zoo, but the animals are free, So you can feed all the wapitis, the deers, and you can see some wolves, bears, all kind of animals of North America.
And are they going to be published as well in a book or?
No, I don't think so. Not yet. I don't know. I just finished like the one you're taking. I just finished it about 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
I would like to specify that you did publish a book of poems.
Yes.
And I hope you would do us the honor to read a few poems for us, perhaps near the window or where the flowers are.
Do it.
I will hold it.
Okay, I'm gonna put my glasses because now. Okay, because I talked to you about the Canada geese, I'm gonna read you the one who's called.
When was this book published?
It was in 2002, I think. Yeah.
And all the photos in the book are actually your work. right?
Yes. Like this one that you saw. Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So what are you going to read us now?
Okay. So I'm going to read you Fidèle retour. Okay. That means faithful return. Okay. Fidèle retour. Je vous ai attendu, les yeux rivés au ciel. L'équinoxe est passé et je vous sais fidèle. Vos appels sonores vous avaient devancé, V mouvant de l'errance apparaît dans l'espace en des vagues sans fin, se mêlant l'une à l'autre. Voilier des fiers oiseaux défiant tout obstacle, vous êtes de retour. Mais combien d'entre vous sont tombés sous les balles durant cette migrance, laissant à jamais solitaire la compagne? Vous êtes de retour. Je vous regarde passer, courageuse oie sauvage, et très loin du sol, aussi haut que vos vols, je vous laisse emporter mon âme, nostalgie du voyage.
Oh, what a beautiful poem.
Merci.
Would you like to read another one for us?
Okay. So it's about, this one.
Les hirondelles.
Les hirondelles. Okay. And in French we said une hirondelle ne fait pas le printemps. That means a swallow doesn't make the spring. Okay. But they bring a message. Okay. So the title is Message. Hirondelle des 1000 chansons, des 1000 messages, murmure d'amour et de printemps. Porteras-tu au loin celui de la femme oiseau aux ailes mutilées, celle qui admire ta voltige du fond de sa lourdeur, celle qui n'a plus de mots nouveaux pour toi, celle qui te dessine et te redessine encore, espérant que ces 1000 traits, ces 1000 gestes la projetteront un jour dans un ultime envol. So it's a message to the swallow to say, take my soul, okay, and because I'm very heavy compared to your lightness.
If they want to find this book, how can they find it?
This
I'd like
book,
to show.
okay.
We have 90 seconds.
Okay, now
Le
they
Chant
have
du
to-
Marais.
Le Chant du Marais.
The song of the
march.
marshes.
Yes, exactly.
What a beautiful.
Yeah, this painting is in Europe, you know.
And how can we find this book?
There's not many places. There was one place was called at Wakefield at the Mémoire des Plantes, but I think but it's better to phone me or just to send me an email.
We have
Okay.
1 more minute. I would like to show your cards.
Okay.
And I would like to ask, how can people order these cards?
Yeah, they can order it if they contact me by email.
What is your email?
My email is jmcnic@hotmail.com.
I will also add this email to your under the videos so people can find you. Madame McNicholl, thank you so much for being so welcoming and reading us these wonderful poems. I wish you all the best, and I will be at Park Omega in June.
Yes, thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.